3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
Welcome back to TTM Trades. Today we're gonna go over my top 3 plus 1 for the week. All right, it's been a crazy past week. Everybody been making big gains, messaging me, and I deeply appreciate all the love. So on the Stock Tools account, we're up to 2.1 thousand followers. I deeply appreciate every single one of you for allowing me to add value to your trades. All right, if you haven't checked this video out, within the TTM Schoolhouse, the 4 phases of a market cycle, trading with stage analysis, I highly suggest you go check this video out right after you watch my top 3 for the week. All right, YouTube, we up to 859. We are almost at 1,000 followers, you all. We are almost there. That is a major marker for me. Okay, so let's get there. All we need is 141 more followers, and I'm pretty sure we can get them in a week or two. All right, so let's just keep grinding. All right, so let's just jump right into it. My top 3 plus 1 for the week is ticker JAGX, ticker MYO, ticker OHGI, and ticker TROV. All right, so let's just jump right into ticker MYO. I played this one, was it last week or the week before last? I think it was last week. Yeah, it was last week I played this one. So jumped in this one. No, it was the week before last. Anyway, I played this one, got in it at 383, right in this area down here, and then when it ran up, I sold it at 475. And then I started noticing it was topping out. You could tell by all of the candlesticks that are forming up here that this is going to pull back. And then actually ER came out, I believe, on this day, and then it got back down. Now the beautiful thing is, when they got back down, it stayed within the trend, as you can see here, which shows that the trend is still in place. Okay, this long consolidation pattern on this ascending triangle is still in place. All right, 563 has been the first major profit target, and it has headed up into that area on 2 different occasions and got rejected. ER came out, caused panic selling. It immediately pulled back down into the upward trend line in which the shares were accumulated. It did dip below it, but the shares were accumulated, and then the following day the shares were accumulated, holding it above the line. So the trend is still intact. All right, now if we know that every time we hit the trend line we break back out and head up to this high of 563, 550, then would it will only make sense that since we are consolidating right back on top of this trend line, then this would possibly be a great entry point, seeing that ER is out of the way and this stock has no other bad news. Okay, even though I don't follow fundamentals, it has no other bad news, okay, that I know of. All right, now looking at the sell volume, if you look down here, this was the ER came out, closed the business this day. The next day, a lot of panic selling, which is, you see this high spike in volume, and then the following day the volume was below average. Okay, which means that the selling is drying up. All of the sellers who are panicking and trying to get out of the stock, their shares are now being accumulated right along this trend line. So going into Monday, we want to see some more consolidation right above this trend line, which I believe is right at about 415-ish right now, right up under the actual price action. So tomorrow we want to see if it's another red day. We want to see it hold above the trend line. We want to see the volume continue to drop down to show that sellers are moving out of the way, and then you will see the buyers come in and begin accumulating these shares and then pushing it back up into this line of resistance. Now now that we've tested this on 2 different occasions and we know this upward trend line is holding, we are putting a lot of pressure on this resistance, which should soon have a breakout. All right, and I think this will happen very fast, so I believe Monday or Tuesday will be a great time to make your entry. Okay, profit targets, as we see here, 563, which was the original profit target. It hit that back in late January, ran back up again. So now we're looking at, again, 563, 673, and 784 for a 61.8% retracement of this big run it had right here. And that's at a minimum, okay? But ticker MYO, that is on my top 3 for the week. All right, and moving on. Oh, well, hold on. Before we move on, looking at the RSI, if we bring it over, even on the pullback, let me slide this over. Even on the pullback, as you can see here, 35.40, it fell back into the green zone. All right, our zone of support. Remember I told you if a trend is still bullish, it will find support within that 40 to 50 area on the RSI. So as you can see here, dip down below 50, found support in the area, dip down below 50 again, found support, and now we dip down below that area, and as you can see, the RSI is beginning to curl up to show that momentum as far as the downtrend is beginning to come to a halt. All right, now it is below the 10-period moving average, so we do want to see it cross above the yellow line, the 10-period moving average, which we know will probably take a couple of days. As you can see, the separation between the two, which will correlate to some consolidation down here, which is fine, because the more consolidation you get down here, the bigger the breakout heading back up into this line of resistance. All right, so that's ticker MYO. Let's move on. All right, let's talk about ticker JHGX, because this one right here I know is on everybody radar. So why am I saying ticker JHGX is part of my top 3 for the week? It already had a breakout. It ran from 13.5 cents to 44 cents. All right, so why would this possibly have another run? Okay, so you had this big run right here. This was approximately how much volume was this that day? Let's take a look to see how much volume this was. Wrong setting. I just want you all to see how massive this move is. On average, volume was about 4 million shares a day. Okay, as you can see here, 4 million shares, give or take. The day it broke out, that was 179 million shares. We went from 4 million shares on average to 179 million shares in one day. That is a major breakout. Major breakout. I highly doubt that was just retail traders, everyday traders who are at their laptop trading. Okay, 179 million. I think that was just more than retail traders accumulating shares. So with that being said, what we want to look for moving forward, because I definitely believe there will be a bounce play in this stock, and it will continue heading higher. Okay, as far as the technicals is good. Now you got news to match the technicals. Now the news is good, so all around the stock is just in a good vibe right now. So what we want to see is, of course, as you can see here, you had a buying climax, which caused a lot of profit taking, and it closed right below that 200-period moving average. And then the following day, again, it opened up right here, it pushed into the 200-period moving average, got rejected, and then it caused a lot more selling again. And then on this day of selling, that was 62 million shares. So the sellers are still in the stock. So what you want to see over the next couple of days, maybe Monday and Tuesday, you want to see this come down, which I believe will hit. It'll probably dip down to 18. This is my belief, right where you see this area is at, and then those shares will get accumulated and it'll close above 20. So you want to see this hold above 20. Will it dip below it? I think it possibly will, but I believe buyers will accumulate these shares. Anything below 20 will get accumulated, and it'll pull the stock back up above 20 for some consolidation to hold above this general area. Okay, now we want to see the consolidation above 20. We know the next couple of days, as far as Monday and maybe Tuesday, there will still be some profit taking and some selling, but we want to see the volume continue as a stair step down to show that the sellers are getting weak and that they're exiting the stock. Okay, once buyers who are sitting on the sideline, and I'm telling you right now, there are probably millions of buyers around the world, traders sitting around on the sidelines waiting to paddle into the stock because they all missed this big move, including myself. Okay, so just thinking logically, once this hits an area, like I said, this 18 to 20 cent area, all the buyers who are sitting on the sideline will paddle into the stock, accumulate all the shares in that general area, and then they will hold this area as support as it consolidates, and then you will have that next leg up. But before you jump in, For one, you want to see that 18 to 20 cent area hold, and you want to see the selling volume decrease. Now, looking at this long term, what profit targets can we possibly hit? So I zoomed out on the chart. I think I went back almost 10 months maybe. So zoomed out just on some pair chart analysis. As we said, you got that, I drew a line. As you can see, this area's old resistance was 22 cents, and then this area's over here old line of support was right around 17.5 to 18 cents, which correlates to what our Bollinger Bands was showing us. And then the old resistance was right at 24 cents, okay, before it had to rip up. So like I said, we want to see it come down and consolidate right on these two lines. The reason why I have this last line is red because if it breaks 18 cents on high selling volume, then that's going to put you back down here in this channel where it was originally consolidating at 13.5 to 15-16 cents, and we don't want to see that. So that 17.5 to 18 cents is our last line of support, which I highly doubt it will go back down there. So we want to see some consolidation in that area. Once we see the consolidation, long term, what are we looking at as far as profit targets? Because I highly believe this stock will run on a long term basis. So the trough, the high, the peak of 99 cents before this trend failed altogether, and the low of 10 cents as you see down here. Profit target wise, we're looking at 44 cents, which you can see, coincidentally, that is very funny. Our first profit target is 44 cents, okay? And as you can see, the stock ran up, hit 44 cents, and then pulled back. So it hit its first profit target. Okay, as far as the Fibonacci retracement, the golden retracement is 61.8%. So we're aiming for, again, to retest that 44, that 55 cents. As you can see, that correlates to this area's old line of resistance. As you can see, rejected, came back up, rejected, and then the trend failed altogether. And then we want to get the golden ratio of 65 cents. So those are our profit targets long term. All right, so entries 18 to 20 cent. Look for some consolidation. Look for the selling volume to start waning off and sellers disappearing. And then once you see buyers starting to jump in and the volume picking back up, that's a good time to get back in on that wave. All right, moving on. Ticker TROV. Let's just do a pair chart analysis on this one. No Bollinger Band. So as you can see with ticker TROV, 30 cents is a strong line of support going straight across. As you can see, it had to run up, use this line as support. It dipped below, but the shares were immediately accumulated. Ran up to that 43 cents resistance again. It came back, found support on 30 cents, and then it ran up into that 43 resistance again. And as you can see, it is currently pulling back. Now, current support, immediate support is right at 32 cents, which you can see was this old channels right here, resistance. As you can see, it could not break out. All right, so what we want to look at is that this holds above 32 cents. It may come back down and tap that 32 to 33 cents, which would be a great entry. But as you can see right now, it's consolidating. As you can see, the volume is beginning to drop to show that sellers are exiting the stock, and now buyers are beginning to come back in. All right, there's pressure building on the 43 cents. As you can see, it has tried it on 2 different occasions. Now if it pulls back to this 32 cents and hold and consolidates above it, then that shows that there's a lot of bullishness in the stocks, because the bulls did not allow the stock to pull back to that strong line of support at 30 cents. They held it above right here at 32, which means buyers are coming in and they're accumulating the shares at a higher line of support, and they're preparing for the next run up. Now profit targets, we're looking at 55 cents, which you can see was this area of support right here, and at 66 to 67 cents, which you can see was this old area's line of support right here. Remember, I tell you all the time, old support, new resistance, old resistance, new support, golden rule. Okay, so these are our profit targets. Now let's take the Fibonacci line just to verify our profit targets. You had this high of $1.08, excuse me. Had this high of $1.08, and that low of 23 to 24 cents. That is crazy. Yo, this is crazy. Look how this lines up. So just based off what we drew, support, resistance, the Fibonacci lines line up perfectly with that. Okay, so double verification, first profit target 56 cents at 38% retracement, 66 cents, and then 76 cents for a 61% golden retracement. All right, so again, look for that entry at 32. If that fails, then you got 30 as a strong line of support. Get the bounce play in there, ride it back up to break this resistance at 43, and then begin heading into 56, 66, and 76. That is crazy how the Fibonacci lines lined up so perfectly. I'm gonna save that. Did not expect that to happen. All right, and last but not least, ticker OHGI. So as you can see, the Bollinger Bands are beginning to constrict, which is signaling a breakout here soon. I just want to do a pure chart analysis. Let's get rid of the Bollinger Bands. I actually haven't did the analysis on this one. I just seen it and it looked good. So here, we could do it together. So as you can see right here, current support, which is where it dipped down at right here, matches with the old support back in this area here. It bounced off that line of support, and now it is trending up. Mind you, the Bollinger Bands were very tight, which signals a breakout is right around the corner. As you can see here, old line of support is here, where the stock dipped down at and actually closed on 2 occasions, and you kept getting a bounce off. And then old line of support here. All right, so what we're looking at profit target wise, we want to get a breakout out of the Bollinger Bands. We're looking at 140 as our first profit target, and then let's put a line of support here. This line of support, when the stock dipped back down, you can see it hit this line 1, 2, 3, 4 different occasions. So that was a pretty strong line of support, and then once it dipped down into this channel, it tried to come back up, which then turned into resistance. So these are our profit targets. Once it breaks out of the Bollinger Bands, we're looking at 140, 172-ish, and then possibly 225 as that lines up. Your RSI, which double bottom right here, and now the momentum is shifting in an upward trend, has broke through your 10 period and your 30 period moving average to show that the bulls are taking control of this stock. Again, let's do the Fibonacci retracements to verify what's going on. I always do it in green because this is our profit target areas. All right, so looking, it lines up almost perfect. 191, 219, and 247. I believe this is a low float stock, so if some volume comes behind this stock, then it'll probably move pretty fast due to the amount of shares available to trade. But again, profit targets 140, 170 based off this line of resistance, 191, and then again we're looking at that 219 to 220 area. All right, so those are my top 3 for the week plus 1. If you learned something, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000, enrolled at the 10,000 by the end of the year. If you have a stock to its account, look me up, TTMTrades. Follow, subscribe, whatever the case may be. If you have not seen this video, 4 phases of a market cycle, trading with stage analysis, especially if you are new to trading, you are missing out. I'm gonna put a link up here in one of these corners so that way you can click it and go straight to the video. But TTMTrades, till next time, trade safe, learn how to pull the trigger on your own, don't get greedy. If the market gives you profits, take them.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.